destroy our brethren in that hole.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be an incredible and epic PvZ here on Blitz Y, very weird map for very weird games, featuring Sacsri and a top amateur player named ikMyeonggosu. We're going to call him ikMyeong. Music, there we go. I hit Control N instead of Control M. Top side, it's going to be our Protoss player. It is ikMyeong, and in the bottom right, it is Sacsri, our purple Zerg. Now, RJB screened this. He says it's a very, very excellent game, bordering on epic. So we will see if it lives up to the billing, right? Right. All right, what's the play going to be here, man? Throwing down a pylon, no big deal. Going to wall off, probably Forge Expand here. It is a two-player map, though. So a gate expand and then sending zealots to where you know the Zerg player is a very common strategy in this matchup. So, Terror of the Overlord's counting out the correct direction because, again, it's a two-player map with these weird, narrow passageways from the top right to the bottom right. Man. All right, what's the play going to be? What's the play going to be? I'm not even going for a hatch first here. That's an overpool from Sacsri. Overpool timing is like, yeah, getting a hatch first here. Pretty risky against like a 2-gate proxy or even just a gate just right here that sends zealots down. It kind of sucks to deal with that. So we're going to overpool, which is in between being macro-oriented and being aggressive. Just playing it safe here as Sacsri. Maybe he doesn't quite know who this barcode player is, or maybe he does and he knows he's dangerous, right? That's the thing. This isn't a player whose name everybody knows because he's won ASLs or anything, but it's definitely a player that is capable of beating somebody like Sacsri. Like, I mean, who else are we talking about here? Anybody, really. I mean, maybe even taking down Flash at this stage in Flash's career where he's not quite back up to 100%. But also, again, maybe not. What is this guy doing? He's just, like, dragging the probe away so we can expand, I guess. And then maybe scouting around for proxies. This has got to be scouting around for proxies. Like, am I getting proxied? No. Ooh, it's a Forge expand, actually. So, yeah, came in, saw the pool, said, let's get a Forge down. Let's get an expansion down. Let's throw up a cannon as soon as we can, and then we'll be safe against, you know, a lot of lings. We'll keep the probe around, too, right? This is very important, Protoss players. You got to keep this probe around. Got to see how many lings are made. 2 lings, great, normal. You can have 1 cannon to deal with that, no problem. But if more lings pop out of this egg, more lings pop out of the next egg, more lings pop out of the next egg, then we're talking about multiple cannons, right? Then we're talking about 2 cannons, maybe 3 cannons, depending on how many lings are being produced here. But at this stage, nothing much to worry about. You want to stay alive, definitely. But just kind of popping down, trying to see what is what. And third base coming in, bottom left from Sacsri Overlord, just parked right here, recognizing you can't kill me with anything. Cannons can't move. I'm not going to fly into cannon range, so blah. Another set of lings is on the way, but it's just been drones since this first pair was created. And there we go. Now there are 4 lings out. They've got no speed, so a skilled Protoss player should be able to keep their probe alive for quite some time. And yeah, even get over here and check to see if there's a third base. Metabolic boost, not even on the way for these lings at all. A lair coming in at the first 100 gas from Sacsri, as is tradition in 2024. But yeah, hit that like button if you're excited to see where this game is going to go. Because, well, pretty standard so far, huh? Really nothing going on that would make me scratch my head and say, what are these players up to? Nope, it's going to Cyber Core, it's going to be a Stargate. It's going to be a Corsair. We're going to maybe get +1, maybe get 2 Corsairs, maybe get 8 Corsairs with +1. Who knows? Who knows what darkness lurks in the hearts of ikMyeong here. And I'm probably not pronouncing anything there correctly, but whatever. Metabolic boost, about halfway done. Lair about completing here. All the timing is working out from Sacsri. No big deal whatsoever. But yeah, this should be a banger, man. Crazy good macro game on Blitz. Why? Come on. That just reminds me. It takes me back to Snow versus Sulky in ASL 16, I think it was, when they played a game on this map and pretty much mined the entire thing out. It was a 40-plus minute game, and it was awesome. I still think about it from time to time. So a couple zealots just kind of parked right here, right? If some lings try to come up this way, we'll block them in. Or just kidding, we're gonna head back home. But yeah, 4 lings running around. They've got speed now. Spire is on the way. Corsair in production. All is pretty darn kosher here in the PvZ on this map. A bunch of lings out, but like, come on. This isn't committing to anything at all. There's still drones being made back home. This is not a sulky, like, I'm going to make 30 lings, hide them over here, try to bait out your zealots to deal with the 6 lings that are here. As soon as you leave that, bam, the 30 lings get in, they jump on your cannon, you die. Sulky has won games in ASL doing that before, and it is definitely a sight to behold when it happens, man. He can do it to the best Protoss players. He is the king of the mind games. And that's a lot of what StarCraft is these days. It's really tough to just out-execute someone at this level. Just doing what they know what you're going to do, but just doing it so well they can't stop you? Nah, if you try to make them think you're doing something else, that's when it gets really dangerous. Misinformation is, I don't want to say it's like the key to winning, but it's definitely incredible. Really good. So 1 kill on the Corsair, that's really all that he should be able to get. Locus acknowledged. Templar Archives coming in as the next tech here after the Stargate from ikMyeonggosu. And another gateway there too. So pretty happy to be on 2 bases for now. Zerg is going to go ahead and wall off a bit. He's expecting some speed lots in the relative future. Might as well prepare for it now. Templar Archives, we're going to get Storm on that. I think we're going to get Storm on that. Right? If you're playing against a Zerg player and you're not getting Storm, what are you doing with your life? What is your plan exactly? Well, Archons are good. Yeah, Archons and Zealots are pretty good. Probably at your level of ladder, but I don't think Archon Zealots are a really viable strategy at this level. Mainly just because like a Lurker Hydra play really handles that pretty well. Scourge scouting around, trying to see what's what. They do get a good scout off. They see the Templar Archives. At least I think they got deep enough to see the Templar Archives there. Maybe not. Maybe didn't. But I mean, come on. Come on. Who's not going to have a Templar Archives? Even just for Archons or heck, DTs even. I saw a DT in production. Did that guy get canceled? He might have gotten canceled. There may have been a brief flirtation with the idea of making a DT, but then didn't follow through with it. So this is, I mean, I don't know, first 7.5 minutes being left largely alone. Little bit of Corsair harassment here, but Sacsri's got to be pretty happy about the way things have gone so far. I mean, speed's been done for these Zealots for a hot minute. They're not moving out whatsoever. Not particularly feeling good about this, I guess, if we're the Protoss player, yeah? This is just Hydras, man. 10 Hydras being produced at a time. Upgrades, range upgrades for them especially. Attack upgrades for them too. And it's not really a Hydra bust exactly, but it's a good number of Hydras. We're going to sit here. We're going to cause some problems, right? I'm not trying to win the game with this, but sniping a gateway at this stage would be sweet. These Zealots have speed. I'm not entirely sure what their deal is. There is Storm available on these 2 High Templar and that one. So if Storm hasn't been researched yet, there it is. I was going to say, what are you doing? Oh, look at him dodge. Is there an upgrade going there? There's not an upgrade going on that Forge. Okay, the Storm God is here pretty good. And there we go. This is where you send the speed lots out to be like, all right, Hydras, get off our lawn. The Lings are buffering a bunch of damage that otherwise would be going to the Hydralisks, and these guys are not happy about that. But now they're gone. So the Hydras are willing, there you go, willing to take a few more hits, maybe lose a couple buddies in exchange for taking down that Forge. That's not bad at all. So yeah, Sacsri first 9 minutes now, feeling great. He's got to be just so happy about the position that he finds himself in. More pylons coming in. I mean, anything else crazy? That's a robo, but you're just expecting lurkers. You see that many Hydras from a Zerg, and you're like, yeah, there's a... Oh. Dan, the DT tried to wander down here. He got wiped out. I guess he did make a DT at some point. Eventually. Then he walked down and immediately died trying to get into the main base. So tough breaks. Third base warping in for ikMyeonggosu here. And coming up the left side, maybe a base here, maybe a base here. Maybe you want to expand here if you're Zerg, but here's tough. Just because it's right on an attack path. Right on an attack path. Protoss is going to want to come down and kill you, and if they can just stop by and kill this on the way and hold this high ground against you. We've seen this go poorly for Zerg if they take this base. I mean, kind of the same thing for the Protoss, if we're honest. Zerg comes, parks some lurkers on the top of this ramp, some hydras behind them, and like, this base is dead, and you can't really engage because of that ramp. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough map. There are a lot of people that don't really much like this map at all. Observatory coming in from ikMyeonggosu. Zergies are pretty happy to be on Hydras right now. Just Hydra. All the Hydras and, I guess, a lurker known to mankind. Yeah, there's one lurker in the crew. Look at this one lurker guy. Burrows on the ramp. Yeah, I'm going to kill all of you with my lurker spine of power. Zap, says the storm. Bleh, says the lurker, and it dies. Big transfer down to here to the third base, and yeah, Sacsri is just he's at 48 workers. ikMyeonggosu's macro has been pretty great too, though. 57 probes. Here at 11 minutes is like, okay, oh, and it's Mutas. Okay, so I'm assuming, no, they're still here. The Corsairs are alive. I was like, maybe the Corsairs all died. No, they're doing this when there are 3 Corsairs out. You're trying to go Muta tech switch, Sacsri. You know Falcon's thoughts on this. We're just going to leave it alone. Not a big fan, but yeah. All right, let's see if the Mutas can pick off some of those High Templar. Let's see if they can actually fight against the Corsairs on some extent. Overlords have speed, which is a big upgrade for them. Speed's a great upgrade for any unit in any RTS, though. It gives you a chance of surviving as an Overlord, whereas slow Overlords, if something's hitting you, you're probably dead. There's just no way to get away, you know? So yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot of Hydras. That one lurker is like the only lurker Sacsri is intending on making today, which is not my favorite thing. I'd like to see some diversification, maybe some more lurkers, maybe, I don't know, a Queen's Nest going into a hive at some point here, but we're pretty happy to be on tier 2 for now. Just Hydras with lurkers and the ability to get 2-2. Mutas jumping on those High Templar, getting 2. Yeah, getting 2. Kind of not focusing on the remaining High Templar there. I don't know if he thought maybe all his Mutas had died. There we go. Another High Templar dies. Storm's getting some work done, but there are no more of those with this group, so fall back ikMyeonggosu. He has fallen back hard and trying to basically naked expand over here to the left side. But Sacsri does seem to be pretty much, well, he's occupied right now. Trying to get here and bust down the third base of ikMyeonggosu. Sacsri not really making much progress as I think he would like to make here. Plus more Storm is coming in. A High Templar did die for that. Corsairs gets an Overlord kill. Excellent stuff. Corsairs stay alive, which is a bigger deal. Yeah, Sacsri's like, we got this. We got 1-1 upgrades. What do you got? Oh, 1-1 upgrades. And you have Storm, huh? And you have speed lots. That's bad for me. Yes, it is Sacsri who continues to not build a Queen's Nest. So, all right. You have chosen hard mode, I suppose. Here we come with more and more Hydras. Pretty good Storm dodges there. Not bad. I mean, Hydras are good against Dragoons, but when they've got a little bit of cannon support and nice High Templar snipe, they got him right at the last second before that Hydra died. There's a building exit that is blocked somewhere. I don't know if it's this one, maybe? Maybe this is blocked? That would be terrible if that was blocked, but yeah, it's not the biggest Hydra army of all time, but they keep sniping High Templar and they are dying. Their blood is soaking into the ground over here, which is weird because it's a space platform and it shouldn't be absorbent in any way, but for the nature of the game, it is. So fourth base is here, actually, for Sacsri, and fourth base is rolling from ikMyeonggosu up this way. Dude, don't... Sacsri does not know about this. I'm pretty sure Sacsri does not know about that base. If he knew about that fourth base, he'd put some more effort into trying to kill it. Instead, he's pouring everything he's got into this third base. Storm up. That's a great storm. That's like 5 Hydras down. Lurkers trying to do stuff, but there's no Dark Swarm for him. So Dragoons are easily picking them out with the help of their Zealot buddies. Sniping is definitely a thing. That observer wants to die. It's coming there are like 3 of them, though. So obs sniping difficult when there are 3 obs. That Eye Templar walks in, gets a storm, dies. That obs dies. That obs dies. There's a 3rd one, though. That's why you have multiple obs, friends. Protoss do it. Sacsri continuing to push up into this 3rd base. Can't quite get close enough to get any hits off on that Nexus, unfortunately. So Sacsri, I keep waiting for something else in the production tab to appear here, but this might just be one of those games where Zerg believes that Hydra Lurker is the future. And I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. This isn't like trying to win with unupgraded Zerglings alone, right? At least you could shoot up and down. And at least you got splash damage with the Lurkers. That's super cool. And maybe with these reinforcements, you might be able to take down the 3rd hat or 3rd Nexus. Probably could take down your own 3rd hatch too. But he doesn't know about the 4th base. That is the biggest thing right now, is Sacsri has no idea about the 4th base. He thinks he's won this game. He really does. He's like, look at me picking off Eye Templar. Nobody is brave enough to come in here anymore. My reinforcements are endless. I've got 54 drones. This base is dead in the water. There's no saving this, and that's it. That's GG. ikMyeong's like, well, this totally sucks. Hydras are OP, man. I've been storming them all day, and they just keep coming, and they don't stop coming. Yep, that is kind of the power of Zerg sometimes, if they have enough workers, and 57 is a good number. It's not quite 65. I like how these probes are like, well, it's a hostile work environment, but we're still getting paid, so we're going to keep on working, I guess. And, oh, look what Sacsri discovered. Hey. Sacsri found that 4th base. And it's like, so this game went from over to decidedly not over anymore. How long has this base been running? How many resources have been pulled in? Does that explain how ikMyeong has been able to keep up with me as much as he has? Because, again, really, really super high-level top amateur, but having an extra base here helps you hold on against people who are the pros. And this base is coming up, too, from ikMyeong. I love it. I like it a lot. Finally, a Queen's Nest. Finally, Sacsri's like, okay, well, I would have won this game if all ikMyeong had was a 3rd, but he's got a 4th, too. And he's getting a 5th, which I'm very, very much aware of, and maybe should go try to kill. Yeah, I don't think these Dragoons are going to stop you from getting up into that corner and wiping that base out, but you're going to try. He's going to... Oh, man, don't fight without your cannons. Yeah, look at him fall back to the cannons. So Sacsri's like, if I could just scoot past you here, sir, send some army up to that top left. That would be great. And I don't know, these Dragoons are standing in. They got 3-2 upgrades against the 2-1 upgrade advantage big time, but bam, bam, focus the Nexus down. You can focus the Nexus down, right? Yeah. Nexus in trouble, but no. Sacsri decides I can't get it. I will die, unfortunately. They don't even go for it there. Okay. So 3 bases rolling here for ikMyeong. He's got a 4th base done. Top left, 40 probes after losing everything at the 3rd, which isn't good. But there's a hive coming in. So Sacsri has a transition plan right now, and it involves waiting for the hive to finish. And then getting Plague and Dark Swarm and stuff, and then things will change in this game. Yeah, this Hydra Lurker stuff is just not working. And it's not working. There aren't even Reavers out, man. This is just Storm and other gateway units, and this Zealot counterattack is pretty rad. I'm liking this quite a bit. Again, the upgrades on these guys, 3-2, better upgrades because Tier 3 upgrades have been available for ikMyeong for a while now. All right, that's it. That's it. So a couple drones die, still 56 here from Sacsri. Pretty aggressive opening 20 minutes of this game, but we are not done yet. Not by a long shot. I bet you thought this was a sneaky twofer for a minute, huh? Haha! That's why I put in the sneaky twofers, is so you're thinking about it. You're like, oh, is this game over on the first attack and it's a twofer? Or do they survive? I'll never know. Yeah, that Archon, like I said, Archons against Hydra Lurker do not do well. Once Dark Swarm starts coming out and Plague, Archons really start to have an increase to their value, though. So we'll see if that happens. Adrenal coming in for the Lings that I'm guaranteed do not have a plus attack upgrade at all. Yeah, they got +1 armor, no attack upgrade. They're getting Adrenal, and they're working on +1 melee attack. Defiler Mound, about 50% complete. And yeah, just gotta hold on for one more day. Gotta hold on for one more day. Things will go your way. Ah, yes, I'm old. Very old indeed. So Ling's running about without any Adrenal or attack upgrades. They're like, you know what? We don't want to pick a fight with really anybody right now. Maybe some High Templar if they're all alone, but otherwise, nope. We don't want to fight Zealots. We don't want to fight Dragoons. We don't want to fight Archons. We don't have the upgrades for that. High ground advantage here, though. High ground was serving ikMyeonggosu back here. It's now serving Sacsri down to the south. High ground is it's an equal benefit to everybody, really. High ground, you're going to miss like 54% of your shots to high ground. No matter who you are, no matter what you're trying to shoot. High ground does not discriminate. So they're Adrenal now. Do they want to fight? They still, again, don't have their melee. Ventral Sax is on the way. Okay, I probably should not have engaged there. Freelings are free. But yeah, drops. Drops coming into play here. He's like, this is a really good dropping position. There's nothing in this main base to stop this from happening. Could probably pretty easily wipe out all of these gateways and really cripple the production of ikMyeonggosu. Also, not a lot of places left to expand, right? At this stage, we got this left 9 o'clock base to expand to, and we have this whole weird thing where, yeah, you can expand here, but you got to send a drone or a probe in to mine this first, and then you can expand. There's gas. There's 2 gas. There's a bunch of minerals here. There's these weird bases over this way, too. You have to mine the minerals out to put any bases in that location, but it's high ground all around it. So, siege tanks set up here, lurkers set up here, dragoons set up here. It sucks. It's really tough. And that incredible game, which I mentioned previously, featuring Snow and Sulky, this was like the remaining mining situation on the map, and there were at alternate times dragoons firing on this stuff, lurkers firing on this thing. It switched hands a couple times. It was a great game. It really, really was. Okay, Plague getting researched, Dark Swarm ready to go with Consume happening, and we're just waiting for Reaver Tech to potentially come into play here from ikMyeonggosu. Big fan of those Reaver boys if you're a Protoss for sure. If you're Terran or Zerg, less so. Historically, much, much, much less so. Oh, he dropped a lurker right there. Okay, well, still 48 probes, so nothing much bad happened there. This guy's not sure what he's doing, and then he's like, I will settle in this location, sir. And he did. Very excellent work. So, I mean, at this point, third base is back from ikMyeonggosu. He's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total bases on Blitz Y, which is awesome. Ah, look who came down this way and expanded over here. Sacsri is working on it. Working on it. Observer pops in and says, so you think you're going to expand here, do you? Meanwhile, Sacsri, hey! First Dark Swarm of the day. Lurkers getting inside that Dark Swarm. Dragoons accidentally walking in there a little bit. Not great. Not good at all, in fact. Is he going to take this one would be the question. I mean, these ones are a little bit better. Just because the high ground attacking positions can't really hit them that well. You can't get up here is the thing. You can't land units there, so that's super, super bad. But sounds like an ob's dying. Robotic support bay. Let's rock. And where is it? Right here? Right here. Right over here. Robotic support bay right on the right edge of the map. I like sending High Templar out on missions just to storm lurkers by themselves. And then the Adrenalings pop on them and they die. And it's like, oh, they should have sent an escort. Only one of them died. Plague! Ooh, big Plague there. Catching a bunch of those Dragoons. The Archons don't care. Archons inside Dark Swarm with Plague on him. Just going blah, blah. Really good stuff. Sacsri expanding left side too. So he says, all right, look. I can't split the map in half with you because I will die. So I'm going to get an extra base here on the left side and a couple extra bases on the right side. That's a massive plague. That is such a big plague. Holy cannoli, that's a big plague. Yeah. Lurkers in Dark Swarm. 9 kills on that Archon. Another great plague, man. I mean, everybody in this group, almost everybody in this group has been plagued. Reinforcements coming in. They're new to the party. They have not been plagued. They are fresh and ready for more here. Metasynaptic Node getting resurged. Reavers actually in production. Ob Snipe. Second Ob Snipe. No second Ob Snipe, man. Are we coming in? He's trying to come in. Great Storms down south. Plague Dragoons firing on stuff that is outside of Dark Swarm if they can, but that's a lot of Lings moving up into this area. And the Dragoons are like, we're basically out of Zealots and Archons, so let's fall back. Fall back to the high ground. And the Reavers. Bam. Reaver shots. Really should make you think about coming up here if you're Sacsri. Lurkers burrowing in. Look at the pre-split. I guess those guys are clumped up. That's not great to be clumped up, but you know, still alive. Still alive for now. Plague. Oh my gosh, the plague. That is so good. On buildings too. Hooray! People always ask, why don't we see plagues on buildings? Usually because it's better to use it on units, like 99 times out of 100. But if there's units standing next to buildings, then, you know, sometimes you can't help it. But my goodness. What an engagement up here. The problem is, it's ikMyeonggosu on his back foot here, big time. He hasn't been pushed to death yet here, but he's the one that's being pushed. He hasn't really been able to put any kind of pressure on Sacsri for the last 10 minutes or so. Although I'm saying that, he's going to wander up and kill this base, isn't he? He's going to try to do it. Sacsri not quite in position to deal with it here, but yeah, man, these are 2-3 cracklings. Yeah, your 3-1-3 upgrades are good, but man, cracklings are powerful, but I think that hatch is going to go down. So I don't know how much Sacsri cares considering he has that right side base. Also, nice plague. He can replant this thing pretty easily, and wiping out the large majority of this army is probably worth losing a hatchery in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, man. +2 Adrenalings against Zealots? Not even fair. Zealots own Zerglings for the most part for most of the game, but when it comes down to late game where Adrenal is done, it's tough. It's tough for Zealots to get much value, especially if they've been plagued. Especially if they've been plagued, man. Plague it up, plague it up, plague it up. Yep. Oh, bit of a whiff. Caught one High Templar. Who does die, so that's basically it. Whoa! Zealot run by into the 4th base. Wipes it out. I think this is the 4th, maybe it's the 5th. I don't know. But 2 hatches down by ikMyeonggosu in just about the same 30 seconds here. These Zealots coming down to this bottom left. 2 of them have been plagued. The other ones are not happy, but they have their full attacks, and they're ready to rock. Getting some of these guys on gas is awesome. These Zealots are still here. Guys, why are these Zealots still here? ikMyeonggosu's struggling to spend all of his cash. He's sitting on 2,600 minerals and 300 gas. These Zealots are just kind of parked. Parked down here. Ow. And try to take down some of these drones. I think ikMyeonggosu assumed they were dead. Realized they were not dead once they got plagued, and then decided to head south, I suppose. Yeah, Zealots are still pretty good against Hydras, even if they've been plagued. It's the cracklings that are really the problem here. Yeah, so I don't know. Sacsri's at 128 supply. He doesn't manage to retake this left side non-clock base at all. ikMyeonggosu takes it. And these 2 bases are rolling with the single gas here, too. The second gas has not been taken just because he's worried about storms coming from that high ground would be the reason he hasn't taken that, as my guess. So he's trying to replant this 4th base, which is a great and a grand idea. ikMyeonggosu, yeah, taking this base really solidly puts him back into a position where he can actually win this game. He can do it, friends. He's in a position to do it. There you go. His bank is gone. He's up to 173 supply now. That's what we were waiting for. Another plague. We're just going to see plaguing for the rest of this game, I guess, is the is the reality. Some of these guys have been previously plagued, but whew, good obs snipe. Again, every obs that dies, that's a bunch of gas. I think obs are crap. Pop quiz. Observers are 75 gas. According to Liquipedia, which is a great resource, 75 gas. Nailed it. Look at me knowing things. Reaver's high ground, though. Sacsri's like, I don't want any of that. Oh, and quick plug. I'm on Facebook and Twitter at /Falcon Paladin, but I've recently started posting a bunch on TikTok, which is tiktok.com/@FalconPaladin, and Instagram, which is instagram.com/Falcon.Paladin. So if you're on those social media services, any of those, feel free to toss me a follow. You'll get little clips of the posts that I made that day, like 35-minute long clips of exciting stuff that happened with a link to the cast itself. And then you can be like, this looks like an interesting game. I'll check it out. It's like a little trailer preview. How do these guys get in here? Oh, there's a shuttle. Hey, shuttle. Hey, what up, shuttle? Oh, this is so brutal for Sacsri, but he's got units in here too. He dropped them in with the overlords. Probably should honestly put a Nidus over there. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have a Nidus in this. It's like an island base. Put a Nidus in your island base. 64 workers remain, though. Sacsri is not hurting that much economically. He doesn't really have a bank. But 65 workers is a pretty great place to be. So Sacsri does... Ooh, Plague right as that Defiler gets murdered. Excellent, excellent stuff by him. So it is kind of two bases over here to the one base, but it's still the same gas amount that is being gathered. Not currently, but just over the course of the game, right? If they take those gas geysers down to 0. So I think this base is going to have to come into play here sooner rather than later. Overlord's like, do you actually have a base here? And he did actually have a base here. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Okay, so we're just doing drops. We're relying on drops for defense, relying on drops for offense. I still think putting a Nidus here would be great. Apparently, creep cannot spread to this area, which seems like a weird choice. I don't know why you would do that, but oh, he is taking the space though. All right, man. Sacsri knows I need this if I'm going to win this. He's got this thing rocking. The cost efficiency of Protoss in this matchup is generally pretty good. Let's not leave anything to chance here. Let's go ahead and take this base, mine from it as long as we can. I'm going to expect the storms, but hey! Big attack up this left side. A lot of cracklings taking down the Reavers. Another Reaver up there, though, causing issues. Link's trying to run around the Archon and jump on the Reaver. Got him. Took him down. That's a huge battle win for Sacsri. That was gorgeous. The split, the spread. He didn't clump everybody up in one location to get stormed and Reaver shot. He brought them from all different angles. It's like a kickoff coverage in college football or the NFL if you're a football fan, which statistically you probably aren't if you're watching this, but maybe you are. Dude, there is a High Templar here, actually. Enough energy for a storm, too. There it is. I'm like, all right. You got enough energy for a storm. If you die and let this base die without tossing off a storm, you're bad news bears, sir. You are out of the Council of Protoss, that's for sure. Trying to bring some units down and save it. No shuttle for this Reaver for ikMyeonggosu is a major issue. Lings going after some of these probes, going after the Nexus. Darkstorm protecting some of them. Others are just out of range of the cannon. Doesn't matter. These guys get dragged into cannon range and die. So that's big. Those Lings hacking away on this Nexus might have actually been able to kill it before the Dark Swarm wore off. But instead, Sacsri's distracted. And he does manage... he doesn't manage to take the Nexus down, and ikMyeonggosu saves it. That's huge. Die, Reaver. Ugh. No, says the Reaver. You die. And the Hydra manages to allow it to happen. Anyway, Zerglings jumping on the Dragoons. Storm after them. I mean, it is a tale as old as time here. Dragoons struggle when there are a lot of Lings. That's what the High Templar are for, to get them off their backs and off their fronts. Dude, but ikMyeonggosu's holding this position like an absolute boss. 123 to 106 supply. This is crazy. I can't believe this is still here. I don't know if ikMyeonggosu knows that it's there is the problem. He knows about this. I don't know if he knows about this. probes transferring down to this left side base. I mean, at some point, having 44 probes when kind of everything you've got is mining out is a problem. Oh, gonna try a big drop. Hydras are like, how about ow? How about no? How about all of your shuttles die after the Zealots die because they managed to unload anyway. There you go. Target firing the shuttles. Sunken. Hey, it's a Sunken. Even this late in the game, Sunkens are good. And there's your Nidus. Okay, good. So he does realize, you know what? Having a Nidus here for instant reinforcements is a great idea. Where? There you go. The other end of the Nidus is, I like this position too, because you can go from defending this to kind of setting up a stage to attack this very quickly with the Nidus. So it goes from offensive to a defensive purpose. And vice versa pretty fast. 134 to 121 supply. Sacsri's up, but not by a ton. He does not have any kind of a bank at all. This has been a really good PvZ. RTV is not wrong. Not wrong at all, friends. Nice plague. Shuttle. This is what I thought was going to happen. There it goes. Down to 51 drones, man. There were 64, 65 here a second ago. Now it's 44 probes to 46 drones. Not good. C'est pas bon. Pour les Zerg here. Alright, man. Dragoons, Zealots, High Templar. Stop me if you've heard this one. But I don't know. I don't know if ikMyeong can actually engage how he wants to engage here, you know? Good drone pull. Getting those drones out of the way, and should be enough wings to deal with this. Bit of a storm dodge there on those boys, and then they jump up and say, do you have more? Oh, you got Zealots and Archons back there. Never mind. Like, 5 lings is not going to handle that, it turns out. So, this might get mined out. These are very close to getting mined out. This one might get mined out, too. So we're looking at mining out Blitz Y, everybody, which is a very exciting thing. Big fan when we play games where the entire map is mined out. Things get bonkers at that stage. Real cray-cray. Okay, Defiler gets a couple plagues off, escapes with his very life somehow. Some way. Takes a consume, another consume, another consume, another consume. Yeah, he's just Dark Swarm, consume. Dark Swarm, consume. Plague, consume. Consume. It's got 250 energy on that guy. He is ready to rock with anything. Anything that may happen. So yeah, mined out. Obviously mined out. Another storm drop a Rooney. Woohoo! Skirt! Do take down the shuttle. That sucks. But the High Templar unloads, gets more storms off. 10 kills on that High Templar. I think Sacsri thought that High Templar was dead. No. Not today, Satan, is what ikMyeong says. Not today, you overpowered Zerg. Just sending infinite waves of dudes at me forever and ever. I'm so tired of it. So he's got a split against Plague, and this is a split against Reaver shots and Storms. And I mean, just look at the spread of this offense and this defense here. There's guys up in the top right battling. Nice Plague left side. Storms coming in hot and heavy. Is there enough Zerg left to actually do this? No, but reinforcements do stream in. This is the thing about the Zerg, is that there are 2 and 3 waves coming at you. Most times the Storms are really good, though. My goodness, 7 kills on that High Templar. 7 kills on that High Templar. Hydras try to take down the... They get the Reaver. The Storm wipes out 2 of his compadres there. It is 10 kills on that High Templar, 5 on that one. They're both going to die. Tried to save it with the Storm, but no. Now is there enough to save this left side base? There is not. There's a Reaver and 1 High Templar here. Oh my gosh. 3 Storms, though. Hang on. 3 Storms, plus a Reaver, plus reinforcing Zealots coming in from the right side. Saving this base is such a priority for ikMyeong right now. Can he do it? ikMyeong has some things to say in Korean, but he's holding. I don't know where he's finding time to chat here. He's in the middle of a direct engagement. 1 High Templar gets sniped by the Cracklings. No more go down in that little tiny span of time, but so many High Templar have died to Cracklings today, and so many Cracklings have died to High Templar today. Korean. I think I have a Korean speaker in chat here, and that's a... What? And that's a GG! Sacsri taps out! And ikMyeong wins it! Please hold... while we figure out what happened here other than failing to kill the left side base, which we're pretty clear about. Hit that like button, though, man. Subscribe if you enjoyed that match. That was awesome. Anytime a base. Anytime this base gets taken on Blitz Y, we're a big fan, right? So yeah, the Reaver dies. It's cool and everything, but it's only 74 supply remaining here. This base is still mining. These High Templar die. I mean, there's good stuff happening, but he's like, I can't break this. There are 4 cannons, a Reaver, and a High Templar with 3 storms on it. Yeah, so he backs out here. Is there like another drop I missed on the right side? Maybe. That's an ob, so no. 37 drones. Yeah, some Korean speaker who's watching this can go to translate in the comments, and I'll pin it. I could probably Google Lens it too, but yeah, that happens. This Hydra runs into some cannons and dies for reasons unknown, but yeah. I guess at this stage, it's just 1 base Protoss to 1 base Zerg. Protoss already has about a 50 army supply advantage. Zerg does not have a lot left here at all. A lot of drones doing nothing. Handful of Lings and Hydras down here. Barely anything at all. And so he GG's. He could have played it out. But there's your GG timing. Yeah. Still got his 37 drones. This is mined out. Well, what do we got? 800 minerals there. Got a whole bunch of minerals here. The gas remaining is 1,500 and 2,700. He's got 2 gas geysers he's working with, though, and it's only the 1 here for Protoss. I don't know. And it's going to be really hard for Protoss to drop this effectively enough to kill it. He just failed to kill this left side 9 o'clock and was like, well, I'm at a pretty supreme disadvantage here, so let's just tap out and we'll fight again. Amazing. Like, great stuff here from this ikMyeonggosu guy. We got to see more from him in the future for sure. But, yeah, he just did everything right. I still think this game hinged entirely on this 4th base that ikMyeonggosu had that Sacsri did not know existed. I would be willing to bet like $10 that Sacsri thought by killing this 3rd base he'd won, because now Protoss was stuck on 2 bases and mining out, and Zerg was on 4 or 3 or whatever it was, and it was like, nope, you're dead. But instead, this base exists, and ikMyeonggosu was able to hold on to this base too, and then assault this thing, kill it, and hold it a couple times, which was huge. The high ground, big plays from this high ground, both from defending from Sacsri and from defending by ikMyeonggosu. So, good game, man. The storm drops are really good too, and making Sacsri lose, to be demoralized, I guess is the phrase I'm looking for there. Yeah, demoralizing him. And he taps, and let's check out this final score. Wow. Protoss fans are like, whoa, okay, cool. 346,000 points to 371. Outproducing the Protoss by about a 2-to-1 ratio, a little more than that. Kill-death ratio closer to a 3-to-1-ish. So more kills here than the outproduce is a good sign for the Protoss. 27-5 buildings raised in favor of Sacsri, and the outspend here is just not enough. Look at it. I'm surprised at this close. 88,000 to 87,000 for ikMyeonggosu. Just awesome. I mean, that is way too close for comfort. I don't know. He's got the base he's mining from. He's got the double gas. I think if he kept playing and could have stayed alive for another 5 minutes or so, I think this is different. But maybe not enough to make it worth it, right? In 39 minutes, maybe outspending, maybe at best here, 5,000 more resources. In 40 minutes? No, that's not going to be enough. That's never going to be enough. Good grief. All right. So that was fun. Like, that was really, really fun. I love this map. I don't think I've ever cast a game on Blitz Y that I'm like, well, that was boring. Nope. Always exciting. Always great. So GG. Well done, ikMyeonggosu. I'll have to cast some more games of yours in the future. And that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War and the Remaster. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.